At the conclusion of the Akeida story, after Avram offers a sacrifice in place of Yitzchak, we're told that Avram returned El Na'arav, to those who've been waiting for him at the foot of the mountain. However, notably absent from this verse is any mention of Yitzchak, the other character of the Akeida. What happened to him after the Akeida? Yitzchak's absence is striking not just in this verse, but really beyond this verse as well. He doesn't appear in Sarah's funeral, nor does he really play an active role in the search for his wife. It's only when Rivka is on her way back with Eliezer that Yitzchak begins to re-enter the narrative. So what happened to him during all of this time? The Mefarshim offer a range of different explanations to this question. Some suggest that Yitzchak returned with Avram, but his absence was due to the fact that Avram was really the primary focus of the Akeida. Others propose that maybe Yitzchak went ahead of Avram. Another interpretation, one that's particularly popular among the Balei Tosfos, is that Yitzchak went up to Gan Eden to recover from the wounds of the Akeida. However, probably the most well-known explanation, one that most of us are probably familiar with, originally comes from the Medrash. The Medrash says that according to this view, Yitzchak went to study in yeshiva of Shem Ve'ever. So why was this the right moment for Yitzchak to go and study in Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever? We know Yaakov went to go study in Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever right before he went to Lavan's house. But this is really true of both Yitzchak and Yaakov, which is, well, if your father is Avram or your father is Yitzchak, do you really need to leave home to go and study Torah? Why wouldn't you go and stay at home to learn with Avram, to learn with Yitzchak? And this question applies really both to Avram and to Yitzchak, to Yaakov and to Yitzchak as well. Why are both of them going and leaving home, going to yeshiva to study? Why don't they just stay at home and study with their fathers? So this is really something which Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky in his Sefer Emes Yaakov grapples with throughout his entire commentary on Bereshis. And he argues that the answer lies in understanding the unique role of Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever, or really the unique curriculum of Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever. He says, while Avram's tent was really always open and they had guests coming in and out of their home, Yitzchak, at least while he was living in his father's home, had really always been surrounded by Torah. His connection to Judaism was fostered in an environment which was an environment of security, of strength. In contrast to that, Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever was not in Shem Ve'ever themselves, didn't live in a Jewish community like Abraham. They lived in the broader world. And therefore, the Torah that was taught in Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever was tailored for those who were living in a world that was not aligned with Jewish values. They provided a guide for how to remain a faithful Jew, living in exile, navigating the challenges of the world, and of those who living with those who don't share their ideals. So Rav Kamenetsky suggests that this is why Yaakov made a stop at Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever on his way to Lavan's house. For him to eventually be able to say, Im Lavan garti taryag mitzvos shamarti, I lived with Lavan and I kept all the taryag mitzvos, Yaakov needed the guidance of Shem Ve'ever, those who did not grow up and live in the sheltered environment of Yitzchak's tent. So if this is the reason why Yaakov sought out Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever on his way to the house of Lavan, so why did Yitzchak go there after the Akeida? Perhaps the answer lies in the nature of the Akeida itself. The Akeida was a moment when Yitzchak became an Ola Tamima, a spiritual being, totally elevated above the mundane world. After this experience, it would have been inconceivable for Yitzchak to return, as Avram did, to the Na'arim, to the ordinary affairs of daily life. Similarly, it would have been unthinkable for Yitzchak to immediately continue Avram's mission and to go and build a household with Rivka. At this point, Yitzchak needed to learn how to integrate his lofty spiritual experiences with the Akeida with the practical experiences of everyday life. He needed to learn how to live in a world that wouldn't live up to the high spiritual standards of the Akeida. This is why Yitzchak goes to Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever. In Yeshiva Shem Ve'ever, he learned how to draw on his experiences of the Akeida to successfully live a life that wasn't always to be found on the summit of Har Moriah. This is perhaps why we're told that the first way that Yitzchak reappears in the narrative is he went out lasuach basadeh. And Chazal interpret this as that he went out to daven and to pray, but others understand that this really refers to him engaging in business, checking in on his crops, overseeing his workers. When we last saw Yitzchak, he was the Ola Tamima on the altar. He was completely removed from the mundane world. But now we see him, he's a businessman. He's involved in everyday matters. So what could have accounted for this transformation? And the Medrash provides us with the answer. Yitzchak spent time in Yeshivat Vayera. He learned how to bridge those two worlds. He learned how to draw on the spiritual heights that he reached during the Akeida, even as he was engaged in mundane acts of business. Yitzchak's time in Yeshivat Vayera underscores the necessity of taking the time and making the effort to incorporate our Akeida moments, our profound moments of spiritual connection and elevation, into the reality of our daily lives.